What if I told you that you could create videos, animations, edit your image without a big budget? Today, I want to introduce you to a tool that could help you to craft cinematic visuals, edit your images, create product posts, project videos, all from your computer in just minutes. Welcome to Higgsfield, where creativity meets AI. Higgsfield is a powerful platform that allows you to bring your ideas to life, making it easy and convenient for you to create like never before. So this is the interface for Higgsfield AI, and here, if you can see on my dashboard, we have the visual effects. We have like a lot of templates we could pick from. We have the Sora community, we have the 2.5 community, so there's a lot of image models, video models added to this, which makes it a very powerful tool to use. Okay, so on the top right, top hand corner, you'd see the image, and here you could see how you could create image, create storyboard, face swap, draw to edit, and Instagram, where it gives you like an idea for your whole selfie into like a whole content library. And then there's a Higgsfield sold, and the Higgsfield sold is usually like the very high model of the of this platform. So you have the super realistic fashion visuals, you have the popcorn where you can story edit, you can edit, you could create, and then you have the Google Nano Banana, which I find it's very cool to have here, the Reef, and then other models right here. So if you go down to the video, you see you have Sora, you have other things you could do. You could create a video from scratch, you could add videos, you could add pictures, turn them to videos, you could add user generated content, which I discussed previously in my last video. You could also animate, which is super cool. I made a video which I'm going to share at the end of this video. But you could also use next gen talking AI, so you could put your picture, a picture of someone else or someone in history, and then have them say something, which I'm going to show you in this video because I'm going to use this to show you in my video now. So at the edit here, you could edit your images, you could do multiple reference. So I could put a shot, and then I want it to be somewhere without even telling it where. Maybe just take a picture of the place, maybe in the Bahamas, and then I just put in the picture for reference, and then it kind of mixes it up and then gives me a single shot. And then also for image placement, for light placement, when you're shooting your videos and stuff or shooting a picture. And then if you go down here to character, you could do face swap, which I see it's so creative. Like you put in different faces on different character models. You could do character swap, you could do video swap, and then you could create a soul ID. And then you have the Sora 2.2 trends. So there are a lot of trends that are going on. You have the assist, you have popcorn, which is also very free, and it's like a storyboarding model. So you could just put in images and then turn them into like storyboards that can actually be made into a video. Like you can I am back on my dashboard, and for the first use case, which is product creation and product placement, I have created it. You've watched the video, and I'm just going to show you how I was able to create that. So you head over here to image on the top corner of your screen, and then go to create image. So what you can do is you can add a bottle. So I actually went online, just looked for a bottle, and then I added on, and then it gave me these 3 creative bottles. So if you can see, this is the bottle I created, and then this is the bottle I added, and then these are the 3 creation it gives me. And then I picked this, and then when you pick it, you can quickly make it into a video. But let me take it back a wee step back. So if you click on this image here, you can see up on the corner of your screen, you'd see the edit, you'd see animate, and then you'd see publish, or you see add to folder. So you could also come down here and you'd see download, you can see recreate, you can see delete. So for this, I just quickly go into animate with video, and then up here you then pick the kind of effect that you want to go on the bottle. So I went up here and I picked the garden blossom. A quick one now, you'd have to go to Higgsfield. Why? Because there are like different models you could check. So there's the Minimac, there's the Sora, there's VEO, Google VEO, there's Kling, there's one. So for this effect that I picked, I chose the Higgsfield. So under Higgsfield, they have like a lot of like templates that you could pick from. So I picked the 3D animation, and you can also mix and match. So you can add a second one, which I did to that video. I added the garden blossom. So I'm just going to check that and add it on. Okay, so this was the effect I added. And then when you add it on, you could prompt it if you want, but if you have your prompt enhanced, you could put it off and you can put it on. You would see it here that it had already created a kind of prompt that I didn't even put in. But if you want it to be more specific, you want to get very, very specific results, you can reprompt. You can add more details to what you want. And from the video I showed you, this was what it created. Yeah, so that's the most simple way. So a quick look at the buttons to your left. You have where you can pick the effect. You have where you can add an image. You can also add an end frame. That's very optional. You could add your prompt here, and then you could then choose the model you want to work in. And then if you do, you can also come here to this button right here, and then you can add the duration. How long do you want it to be? How fast? What's the seed? The seed, it's how random, or do you want it to be very precise? And then you can also add the steps for better quality. And if you want, if you come here, you can either rerun it, or you could just click on settings, and then you can see everything that you've used right here. So I've used 20 instead of 10 seeds, and that's why I have this. And so this is the video I was able to create, and that is how you can place, you could do product placement.
Important of all the virtues, because without courage you can't practice any other virtue consistently. Can't be consistently fair, kind, or true, or honest, or generous. None of those things. You can be anything erratically.
So for the second example of use case scenario of Higgsfield, I had made a video on AI avatars and how you could create them on Canva, but you could also create them here on Higgsfield. And on Higgsfield, it is very, very easy too. So you come just up here, and if you scroll down to the models right here, you can see it has Kling Speak, right? And even up here, you could see them here. So you could pick Kling instead. But for this, I'll just go to Kling Speak. And what I did was I added an image of Maya Angelou, who I deeply respect and adore. And when I did, I added also a generated video image of her. So what I did was I just went on YouTube. I got a video, a very short video of her talking, and then I added it on here. And when you go back here, you add up the image, you put on the audio, you put your prompts if you want that. And I had that as she's speaking and advising girls to look up. That was what I had. And then I picked the model already, which is Kling Speak, and then I picked the quality I wanted, and I generated the video. This was the video it created, and there's like endless possibilities for you to use this. You could use it on a model. If you click here on the UGC, you can see a lot of like models for people that want to create social media pages and they don't want their faces to be on. You could pick people that represent your brand, and then it's consistent. You could use them over and over and over again. And you could just, there's like a lot of things. You could lip sync, so you could record yourself speaking and then you upload it. And then if you want, you could also change one model. So for me, I already picked Kling Speak, and so that is the model I'm using. Also, you could use VOE, which I'm going to show you at the end of the video. I used it to create like a short motivational animated video. So the third use case, how I created the Billboard Takeover, is on your top screen, you can see the apps right here. And if you click on apps, you could see the different options you have up here. So if you click on apps, what I did was I just scrolled down to Billboard Takeover and I used it. So this is the Billboard art takeover. So what you do here is you upload an image, which I did. I uploaded an image of myself already, and you add the text of the billboard, like what you have here, fresh, natural you, and then you generate. It's very easy. So you could generate an image or you could generate a video, and it's very easy because it gives you like a lot of inspiration. You could then modify, you could then edit, and I think it's really also it's working very well on text. So just make sure you don't put too much text that it gets so crowded and the system can't bring out the best. But then that's just the very, very simple way, and I could show you what I have created using that. So if I just go down here to my image, if I scroll down here, right here, this was what I created and I showed you at the very beginning. So what I can do here is, you see here, there's like a little text mistake. I could correct that, or I could just take that out, put it on Canva and edit the text, and I have an image. And the creative thing it did was that it took that very raw image I had sent, an image that I was just looking very natural in my home pajamas, just took a picture with my afro, and it puts me on like a very professional looking AI generated image with the whole details in place, my head, my glasses, and then put me in this like very nice clothes, which I really do appreciate. And also, if you want, you can actually tell it to make sure that your look stays the same, as opposed to editing it out this way. But I think this is very, very good. This is outstanding. Like there's an endless possibilities for what you can do with this. So if you make codes, or you make codes for social media, or you just want like something different for posting, you could use Higgsfield to create this sort of thing and add it to your content strategy. So for the video you just watched, it is something I had honestly like always thought of creating, and the way I would have created that if Higgsfield wasn't there would have been to, go to Google and use Google Maps, Google Studio, and kind of create it. But it can also be very tricky if you don't really know. But Higgsfield makes it so easy. So how you could create that is you could just scroll up here to viral, and when you get to viral, you would see like different effects. So they have the earth zoom out, they have the eyes in turning metal and melting, they have building explosion, face punch, like a whole lot of things right here. And what I did was I just used the earth zoom out, and when you use the earth zoom out, you just generate. And how you generate is you just put in an image. So I was trying out a lot of things, so I used even the perfume I created, but I just put an image. So it has to be an image, disclaimer. So you can't put a video, you can just put a still, a PNG or a JPEG. Also the same, prompted here, choose what model you want, and then you generate. And this was the video it generated, and so easy. And then you could use this in your video clip, and I mean, it just makes life so easy for people creating videos, creating content and stuff like that. And that's the fourth use case.
I thought the mountain would give way if I just tried hard enough. Instead, it threw me down, more than once. Every slip, every bruise, every frozen breath, they all whispered the same question: do you still want this?
So there you have it. That was a quick walkthrough of how you could use Higgsfield in your marketing effort. It's a sure way for you to create content that also resonates with your audiences without the need of a complex software or a high-end equipment. With Higgsfield, the ability to create cinematic content is right at your fingertips. If you're ready to get started, head over to Higgsfield. Link would be in the description below, and try it out. Try out your creativity in so many ways. And thank me later.